An offer does not mean that you have a guaranteed scholarship spot at a school. That is the biggest misconception in college football recruiting. An offer nowadays means we are interested in you. I'll use this example of how it worked when I was the tight ends coach at Arizona State. I was told that I get 2 scholarship spots in the 2021 class to sign 2 tight ends. I got to find those tight ends, as we just talked about. That doesn't mean that I go offer 2 tight ends, because I'm at Arizona State and I got to compete with USC and Penn State and all these other schools. And also, I'm a great recruiter. I'm going to go after the best tight ends in the country. What's the realistic chances that the number 3 tight end in the country comes to Arizona State? Not great. So if I just offered the top 2 guys for my 2 spots, I probably wouldn't get them and I'd be left with no tight ends. You normally say that you want to have about 5 to 6 players really interested with an offer for every spot you have. I have to go offer like 12 tight ends and then see who's really interested. And then you have a board where you rank those 10 guys you offered. And if the number 7 guy tries to commit, I got to make a decision. Where am I with number 1 through 6 that I want more than that guy? And then do I take that commitment or do I push them off and see if I can get 1 through 6? It's all a game of numbers.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. It's evening for us, man. Another edition of the world famous Turf Talk. Trevon Smith right here with the best left and best right hand man you can have on any kind of situation. Coach G, Coach Dennis out there driving from practice to training facilities back to the house. Coach G, let's check in with you first, man. How's everything going with you?
Man, I'm doing mega good, my brother. You know, I woke up, so I'm blessed. You know, I'm a little irritated, man. KB1 told me, he said, Dad, you're old. You was born in the 1900s. Man, I did a Scooby-Doo like, huh? He was like, and then I said, at least my generation knows how to write in cursive. Now drop and give me 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So these kids are crazy, man. But other than that, man, everything is going good, man. The youth team is out there doing their thing, coming together like 2 butt cheeks. I love it.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Talk to us a little bit about the Mount Sac situation. I know you got something coming up in Mount Sac on May 25th over there in Mount Sac. Well, what's going on with that?
Correct. May 25th we'll be at Mount Sac for the Army Bowl Combine. It's the Gridiron Camp Combine, but it's affiliated with the Army Bowl Combine. So it'll be at Mount Sac. Registration starts at 9 o'clock to 9:30. We'll be out there evaluating the top talent in California. And if you move on, you'll get an invitation to be able to go to Texas and actually showcase your skills with all the best boys in the nation. And I went last year. It was a beautiful thing. We were at Dallas Cowboy practice facility, and it was nice, man. It was really nice. You know what I mean? So I'm telling all the young men out there, if you got what it takes, come pop up. You can go to my IG, Gary Bryant 701, or you can go to gritfootball.com on IG and sign up. And if you can't get it, if you can't make it happen, I got some things for you. Just hit me up. Reach out to me.
Yeah, we also had the information on Turf Talk broadcast on the IG page. Our contact coach, Gary. Contact coach at Gary Bryant 701. At Gary Bryant 701. We got all our coaches in cars tonight. Coach Gary, I'm not gonna let you go yet. Coach Coach Burns just checked in. That's the first time I almost said his name. I ain't never said his first name. And Coach Jackson in the car too, getting home from practice as well. Coach Gary, Coach Gary, I want to check in with you. How's GB doing out there? Gary,
you know what? He's out there grinding and shining. He's been going hard, and yes, Gary Bryant Jr. He's doing really good. You know, right now they're just doing. They're actually just working out. They're lifting and running. You know, I'm not really a fan of year-round football, and as you can see, they don't do that in college. They don't do it in high school. So I just think it's a lot of wear and tear in the body. So right now, I think this is a chance for him to give his body a rest from getting all banged up. So right now they're just working out. I talked to the coaches, from the OC to the head coach to the wide receiver coach, Junior Adams, and I've been getting very, very good reports on him. So that's a good thing, man. It's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Definitely. So shout out to Gary Bryant Jr. Coach Burns, we're gonna get with you. I like that jacket. I'm gonna need one of them. Let me check in.
I'm seeing with my man DeAndre Carter, Big Dre. You remember Dre?
Oh yeah, modern day, right? It came from I know the story. I know the story. Let me check in with Coach Jackson real quick. Coach Jackson, how's everything going on with you?
Oh, man, everything going great, man. We just, I'm shaking and moving all the time. I just came out the gym, get it done, sports arena. I'm trying to get that work 7 to 9, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay, we'll have that information posted as well. I know you guys just had your big showcase. A couple of your boys, or the boys in the trenches, got the offers out. Talk a little bit about the showcase and what it means to you guys.
Man, it's always a great deal, man. I want to say we're one of the pioneers for it. Yeah, we had about 60 coaches out there from all different colleges, and just showcasing the boys, they challenged and let them perform for these guys. And I mean, a lot of guys came out successful. It's always great. You know what I mean? I think Coach Gary's son got the record for the most offers in 1 year. So it's always a beautiful situation. We had kids that walk away with 4 or 5 scholarships that day. So it was a blessing, man.
Definitely, and shout out to all those kids that worked hard for that. It sounds like we got like we on the podcast, like we on ESPN, and got him dialed in right now. I actually like it. Hey, Coach Jackson, right. We can't never let you get away. How's everything going with Drake? So we can move on to our guest tonight. But how's everything going, Drake? You healthy? Feeling good? What's going on?
Drake doing well, man. They just finished mini camp. He's still not 100%. He's about I want to say he's about 70, 80%. They got him squatting. He's doing a little boxing. Just trying to get himself right. But he's healing right. He should be ready for the season. So,
all right. Hey, all love and blessings to that brother right there. That's people that tuning in. It's Turf Talk. Coach Gary, Coach Jackson. Our guest tonight is somebody we all have a great family communication with. Somebody we all call for one reason or another. Our phone lines is always beeping. This right here, the legendary man himself right there in Temecula. And if you ain't been down there, you ain't really about your business. Coach Dechon Burns, Linfield football. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Trey. Man, good seeing y'all.
Hello, brother. Always. We never get the bang like this. Coach G, you got that? Coach G usually have his introduction ready. I know he got something special.
Right, I do, man. This is my mentor. So I had to put pen to paper. It goes like this. Air is much like faith. You can't see it, but you know that it's there. Life will give you many obstacles, and it ain't always fair. Many are called, but few are chosen. This coach is so certified that he has his own slogan. Don't chase the fame. Keep the main thing the main thing. Freeways tend to go long, but he chooses to push in his own lane. A former USC cornerback often calls Z Mr. Clamp. From an NFL coach, college scout, he has his own stamp. Wisdom is a gift. Never will you ask what it is. This coach is called Mr. Burns, capital B, and he's standing on business. How you doing?
Hey, look at Coach Burns, he must need something from you, man.
Oh, man. I was just with him the other day, man.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
The young fellas, man. It was a blessing to be out there and watching, little kids, and the way he was doing was a good thing.
Man,
appreciate
it. Just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, just yesterday.
Coach Burns, Hey, Coach Burns, we're gonna put together something. We're gonna send you away from football for about 2 weeks, and your heart gonna be broken, man. This dude ain't never away from football. I mean,
never.
Hey, never away from football. I thought I was bad. Thought Gary was bad. Coach Jackson was bad. You us on steroids. This dude ain't never away from football. But go ahead, Coach Burns. Tell us a little bit about yourself for the people that may not know your accolades. I know this is not really your forte. Tell us a little bit about you, because we know just from being around you, but even the stuff that we try to mention, it takes years of getting to know you before I start memorizing everything. So go ahead and then give people who we talking to, the GOAT down in Temecula. Let's go. Hey, Coach Dechon Burns is right here on Turf Talk. Let's talk to you. Let everybody know the resume of who you are, because I think that's important for these kids when they tap in, and these parents when they tap in, because nowadays, hey, if we ain't got no resume, we ain't nobody.
Man, I'm a hockey guy, born and raised in Riverside. Went to Riverside High School, played my ball there. Under Leo Brohart, may he rest in peace, Coach Mosier, all those guys that really pushed me. I was blessed to play a bunch of sports at the high school level. So I played football, played basketball, played baseball, ran track, even tried wrestling in my senior year so I can get that fifth letter. And then went on to play football at USC and a little baseball at USC, and then had a neck injury, kind of shut my time down short at USC, and then kind of walked on the baseball team. Had a shot with the Trojans in fall ball, and the coach Mike Gillespie and Aaron Boone, who's now with the Yankees. Oh, Booney, we were teammates, and then did fall ball, and then there was a complication. You guys get it when you're hurt and you're on one sport's money, and then another sport, they can get you for free. So it didn't work out, but ended up going to Canada, the BC Lions, for a cup of coffee there. Then came back home, and then went to the Astros organization in Merced. Coach Gillespie had kind of mentioned that some scouts were out looking at me. Then I got into coaching. And that was my first coaching gig was at Beverly Hills High School under Carter Pasinger. Good man, him, Donald, and Vonzi, the Pasinger brothers. There's a Netflix show called All American.
Yeah.
That is out. I was coaching during that time, and that was about Beverly Hills High School. So I was there with Carter and Vonzi Pasinger. I left there, and I went to Bishop Armand High School for 6 years. Coached at Bishop Armand, and had a stint down at University of New Mexico with Rocky Long and Lenny Rodriguez, and right after Urlacher and Quincy Black was there, and Lenny was a good heck of a coach, linebacker coach. I think he's at Mount Sac now. Then left Armand, went to the Lobos, was there with Rocky Long. Had a chance to go to SC under Paul Hackett. I stayed at Armand, then went out to Florida, coached at the University of Florida with Coach Steve Spurrier for the 01 season. Blessed to coach against the Jason Campbell's, the Hendersons, John Henderson's, Overstreets, Coach Friedgen, a young James Franklin, a young Mike Loxley. When we played him in the Orange Bowl, and Florida played Maryland in the Orange Bowl.
Uh-huh.
Coach Spurrier then took a job at the Redskins, and I followed and went to the Washington Redskins for 2 years under Marvin Lewis as our coordinator, assistant D-line coach, special teams guy, and QC. Stayed there for 2 years, left there, went to the San Francisco 49ers under Dennis Erickson. Coach Yarbers is now at UCLA, was there with Yarbs. Coach C, Coach Collins was there at the time. Oh my gosh, Jason Tarves, the linebacker coach of Cleveland, was there. We're all together. Dan Quinn,
Yeah.
DQ was the D-line guy, was the D-line coach, and I was with Coach Greg McMackin, Willie Robinson. Robinson was the coordinator. McMackin was the linebacker coach. DQ was the D-line guy. Andre Carter was on the front. T.O. had just left. I was there. Then I went to Texas Southern, coached at TSU for 4 years, D coordinator, D-line coach, pro liaison, and then became the interim head coach. We lost our head guy. I was the interim head coach for the last 2 games against Arkansas Pine Bluff. And then at the University of Houston, I coached against Art Briles. I was there. And then I went to University of Texas at El Paso under Mike Price for 2 seasons. Left UTEP, did the Texas versus the Nation All-Star game with Coach Schnellenberger, Howard Schnellenberger, the old U, Coach Oliver Dottie. Some really talented young men there. Left the Texas versus the Nation game, went to Sacramento Mountain Lions United Football League under Coach Denny Green. May he rest in peace. Coached with Coach Green for a year. Left there. Coached with the Eagles with Andy Reid. Was there for part of the season, a minority internship, the Bill Walsh minority internship program. Had special teams and worked with the linebackers. So our man Vince, Texas quarterback, we had picked him up. We had Nnamdi Asomugha, or Narbonne, ex-Raider, Cal Berkeley Raider, Nnamdi Asomugha. My man, the cornerback. His son's now playing. Old vet, old head. We had Jason Babin, Quay Parker, Ellis at SC. So we had a nice little front. So I was there.
The resume is immaculate.
Cut it out, man. Then I left there and I came to Linfield.
Yeah.
Linfield Christian High School, been there for 13 years, and in the process, been blessed to coach in a bunch of all-star games. Did the East-West Shrine game with Coach Singletary. Was a D-line coach there, Mike Singletary on the West team. Or no, excuse me, the East team. Jim Zorn was the coach on the other side. And then from there, did the Upper Brown Pro Bowl game, and then did the Hall of Fame Academy.
Yeah.
And then I do FBU, so football university stuff. I'm active with that and a bunch of guys. And I'm still at Linfield Christian High School.
Yes, sir. Doing his
as
thing.
head coach.
Being around the kids is what he does as far as making a difference. So when you come to who's your head coach, favorite head coach, he's one of them right here. Coach Dechon Burns is one of those guys that a lot of coaches say they need to go tap in with or figure out some things with. That's one of the young heads that they want to tap in with. Coach Jackson just tapped in. Coach Jackson, I know you have a long relationship with Coach Burns and stuff. Go ahead. You have something you want to get out?
Yeah, for sure. I remember, like I said, he's OG on the show, so you know what I mean. It's the second time we got the opportunity to get with Coach, but I remember the first time meeting him was at the All-Star game, and I just sat back and watched him. You know what I mean? I wanted to do my part, but I'm like, man, I was just like a kid in the candy store, just sucking up the just the knowledge that he had. And I just want to ask the coach, you've been doing it so long, and like like it's funny because I wouldn't remember all them everywhere that I coach. You know what I mean? You got a resume, and so I mean, you gotta have a love for it. And just tell me, what's your heart for this, and why you do it, and what's your why?
Now my why is. My why is the kids. This game is cold, man. It's if you're not right, it's not going to be nice to you, and it don't have any color lines. It's not prejudice. It's production based. The game is production based. Don't care about the stars, and there's a lot of misinformation out there. Right, I got hurt, right, and so I was primed to start. I was in an all-star secondary. Good friend is at Tockwitz High School right now. Stephon Pace was in our secondary. He was an all-Pac-10 guy. Lamont Hollenquist was our safety. I played with Willie Mack. Mack was a youngster. Alec Mahone, youngster. B-Dub, Brian Williams. They were young. I played along with Junior and in the same secondary with Mark Carrier and Cleve Coulter and Chris Hill. With Rodney Pete on the opposite side of the ball, Pat Harlow. Our team was loaded. Troy Aikman was across town. And nobody talks to the kids about what happens when the dynamics change, right? So when I got hurt, I saw a different side of the game. And people don't tell the truth all the time, Coach. You know, they gas you up. And then the other side of this is when things aren't necessarily working out your way, you get a curveball thrown at you. They don't tell you to sit back on that back leg and push that thing opposite field. They just kind of move on. And so I got into coaching because I wanted to be able to tell the truth and give these kids something that they could, not everybody's going to gravitate to it because it's not always pleasant. It's not what you want to hear. But I found the fulfillment out of that. I got more joy out of watching a kid accomplish something hands-on. I felt accomplished there. I was in corporate America and I did a whole bunch of other stuff, and I didn't feel the same way. The office phone and the pager and the corporate account didn't mean as much as the 3rd and 10 and getting a stop, or watching a kid get an offer, or watching a kid that never thought about playing college ball go play college ball, or see a kid get drafted. So that's my why is that. And I think it's been instilled with me from the people I grew up around, from my dad, may he rest in peace, and the people that were around me, the Ryan Knights and the Jerome Tylers and the guys from Louisville that kind of always in our kin about going hard and doing the right thing and it being bigger than self. So, I mean, I love it, man. I wouldn't want to do anything else. I mean, I'm not asking for this, but if I need to go, when it's time for me to go, I got to go on the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
Let me go out calling the play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Gary, you want to tap in with him?
Man, Coach, I gotta say this: that resume go longer than the Cadillac coupe. I mean, man, you've been through it, and there's a saying out there: everyone in your circle is not in your corner. And like the tag on the T-shirt, you've always had my back, and I want to say thank you for that. You were just at my practice with the GB Ducks, and so you've been laying the foundation for me. The question I have for you is, what is the difference from football in your era than right now? Because Coach, it's like DMX reading a bedtime story to a newborn. It don't make no sense. So
What?
can you
Come
please just, some of the things that's going on right now don't make no sense. I mean, what is the difference you seeing right now from when you played and now?
So we played for the love of the game, man. Like I played, like I didn't want to let my high school teammates down. Like we're on the field and we're getting after it. And it wasn't even about like I'm gonna tell you this. This is the God's honest truth. I never thought about college football. I just like playing. I like running around smacking dudes. Grades were put up in my family. Like I had to get good grades. My mother, I love her to death. I call her Mom Dukes. I remember scoring a touchdown. She told me good home run. So she didn't care nothing about me scoring touchdowns.
Right.
So all she knew is I better have a 3.3 or better, or I wasn't gonna be able to do anything. And she let my dad know that. So grades was never an issue. Conduct was never an issue.
That's right.
It was tough. Like you played so the dude across from you couldn't get the better of you. It had nothing to do about accolades or notoriety. Like you just wanted to be a savage on the dude across from you. So we're just all tough. And I'm playing high school football. I remember we played Bishop Mine High School. Shout out to Bob Green, son of Sam Green goes a king. Bob, we're playing on Mont, and I had scored a touchdown. And he pulled me up, and he said, "You going to SC?" And I was like, I'm just looking at him like, man, what are you talking about? He said, "Are you SC bound?" So my little nickname was SC bound when I was running the ball at Rubidoux. And Bob was just like, you going to school. And it was just a matter of, I didn't want to let them down. So hurt, there's no such thing as being hurt. I don't need to be coddled for me to go out and do my job because I didn't want to let the dude next to me down. I think in this day and age, there's a lot of emphasis on personal glory, which is killing the game. And the accolades and the shine and where you play at, what division. Man, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I didn't think about school. I just had good grades. And I remember I went to Cal. Bobby committed to Cal. And we went up to Cal for the spring game. And Coach Marinelli was up there, Rob Marinelli, and Coach Snyder, Bruce Snyder, Coach Fox, and we're up there. Odom, I was thinking Brian Treggs, all my class. Troy Taylor was a quarterback. And we went up there on the spring visit. And I got my first offer going with Bob to a spring game. And it was old school. They come and they spend time on your campus and they watch film. They shake your hand. They look you up and down. They talk to the janitor. They talk to the math teacher. They watch you practice. And there wasn't turning work down like you're not practicing. There's no such thing as don't practice. Are you hurt? Are you hurt or you injured? So I think the difference is the game has been convoluted because there's money involved, and now the focus is not on being the best version of you. It's what is your value and how can you get paid? And then if I'm not feeling it, I can leave or I can retire or I can shut it down. So the motivation is not there to play to be great. The motivation is now money-based. And I think that's messing up the game, if I can be honest. It's probably going to make some people mad, but I really don't care. I mean, that's just the truth. It's hurting us because our kids we're not tough. We're not being really tough, like tough times, right? You got to put your back, swallow, knuckle up and throw. So I don't know if that's really happening across the board, right?
Right. Sir. If you're just tuning in, Turf Talk right here, man, talking to the one and only Coach Burns down from Linfield High School. His love for the children, you could go down to his high school workouts, and at any given time, it's 10 to 15 different kids working out from different schools. I've never heard you recruit not one kid, and that's we still got my man in the back. Or did he walk
Dre?
out? Yeah.
Big Dre,
Big Dre from Modern Day. He from Modern Day right here with Coach Burns right there. So that's the love that he has. Coach Dre, go ahead and introduce yourself, man, and let everybody know what you represent and what you're working on.
Oh, DeAndre Carter, working on getting to Auburn in 2 weeks. I'm excited to get there, just working hard with coach, getting training in, and do my
That's
best.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, shout out to you, man, what you do over there. Like, we over there watching you. We know what you do. You see, I knew exactly who you were. So,
right.
hey, keep up the good work, man. But yeah, Coach Burns has a love. He got kids at Modern Day. He got kids at Marietta Valley. He got kids all over the place. Centennial, Norco. I got the Norco kids with what's my name? Clayton. I just seen him at the Centennial practice. You got Clayton, you got everybody all over the place, and they come to work out in Temecula. So talk a little bit with Coach Burns about why do you do that, and what that means to you to work out all these kids all over these different cities and counties.
Well, I mean, it started out with my son Lorenzo when they played with the Corona Panthers, back with the J.J. Taylors and the Zimbalzak, Brumballs, Cam Jacksons, Nolans. They were all playing the Corona Panthers. So Zoe and Tim, my other son, were like, Dad, we want to work out.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, we can work out. And so it started out. Zoe would come and he want to work out, and he was playing with some of his buddies. And so I'm coaching in Linfield. I got the keys. So instead of going to a park, let's just come on down. So Zoe would come, and Vic Veramontes would come through because Zoe grew up with Vic. I grew up with Vic's dad. We went to high school, junior high together, played junior time together. So there's a bunch of guys just coming through and working, the local kids. All ages is come on, let's get to work. And it just morphed into more kids would come. You got to be serious about it. Then I meet Little G and Travion. Shoot, the big dog boy, I think 2010, they're little ones.
Right.
They're little types.
Yes.
And we had a little workout at the middle school. They came through, and it just morphed into more kids coming through and where you work in, come get this work. And Lorenzo, he always worked, and so his buddies would come through. And next thing you know, as they grew, their friend group grew, so did the participation grow. And it's always been open.
Yes, sir.
It's not about recruiting. It's not about recruiting. Your kids came through. All
my kids been through there.
Yeah, they come through, and then so hey, we're going up this time for this long, maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, maybe 3. But we're gonna go, we're gonna get it in. You're welcome. Come on through. Don't bring any drama. Bring a work ethic. And that's just what it's morphed into. And then it kind of just morphed into getting across, the country and, out of state. Sometimes I'm blessed to get out to go to Canada and do some stuff. And just over the course of time, it's just built into kids just come through and work in the community and the word of mouth. I don't advertise. I'm not into that. It's not about that.
Right.
And a little everybody, right?
Yes,
old heads, young heads, pros, JUCO kids, guys that want to try to come back and do it. It doesn't matter.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, Coach Burns, we're gonna have to have you back on periodically throughout the year because we only do these 30-minute segments. Coach Jackson, we got about 5 minutes left. Coach Jackson, you want to ask something?
Yes, sir. Well, my son never got to work out with you because I think I emulate you. You know what I mean? I wanted to do everything you did. You know what I mean? I wanted to do what you did with your son. You know what I mean? So I was emulating everything you do. And it's funny because when you're talking right now, like that's me. You know what I mean? Everything I do is for the kids. You know, my heart is like everybody always asks me, man, why are you still coaching your son in the NFL? I'm like, man, I love to do what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's from my heart, and I feel like I kind of emulated you a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I said, just sitting back and looking at you do what you did. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I want to be just like that. You know what I'm saying? And I got that opportunity, and it's just a blessing. I just want to ask you, just shoot some nuggets to us, man, because it's a lot of coaches that don't have that heart. What can some new coaches that are some old coaches learn from?
I'm gonna just give you what my mentors told me. I got hired to the Skins. It's a glory to God. 2001, January, I was a high school football coach at Bishop Mama High School, and we had done well, done our things. Coach, teacher, track coach, head track coach, basketball, yada yada yada. January 2002, I'm coaching in the NFL. And I'm in charge of coaching Bruce Smith and Coach Marvin Lewis and Ricky Hunley, who was a strong mentor in my life. The Daryl Greens, the LeVar Arringtons, who are still tight to this day. But in that process, I had 2 shots at the national title at the University of Florida under Steve Spurrier. We lost to Auburn and then we turned around and lost to Tennessee, and went 10-2. Okay, so at the end of it, I get to the Redskins, and Marvin pulls me aside, pulls me in, and he said, "You want to make it in the business?" Him and Coach Katopoulos said, "You want to make it in the business?" I was like, "Definitely, Coach." Marvin said, "Don't be a fan." He said, "You're gonna coach Hall of Famers and don't be a fan. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." So Bruce Smith was on his way to the sack record and Hall of Famer. Like, Bruce Smith don't care how much you know. He needs to know how much you care about him. So I genuinely care. So we're tight to this day. We talk. We did a golf tournament. He came out and presented in the golf tournament. Daryl came out. So a genuine concern to let them know that you care about them. And then Coach Katopoulos, he said, "You want to make it?" I was like, "Yeah." GC, he said, "No attitude, no ego. So when you come sit in a meeting, be a sponge. Sit down somewhere. Not everybody's interested in knowing how much you know. You'll have a chance to express how much you know, and you can't miss. But if you try to constantly talk about how much you know and gas yourself up, you're gonna get exposed and you're gonna find yourself without yourself." And so I've just stuck to that, and then keep the main thing the main thing. Like sometimes you got to sit back and just ride this thing out and just keep your nose on your face and pay attention. You don't got to talk as much. You don't chase the glory. Young guys, I think, sometimes get overzealous and got to pump their chest and let them know how cold they are in the game and how much they know, and might not be ready for that. Sometimes you need to, like that old Colors movie. Robert Duvall was talking to Sean Penn, Pac-Man. That you can run down the hill, get a few cows. You can walk down the hill and get all the cows. So you better learn how to walk on down the hill and then watch this thing develop, and you'll see. So I just even as long as I've been in the sport and coaching, I still go to my mentors and talk to them and ask them. I don't know everything, right? And it's okay. I'm not trying to do that. I just got to stay in my lane and run my race,
Right.
Coach G, you want to tap in? We got about 2 minutes, like a minute and a half before we get out of here.
I'm gonna say this with confidence. You have a better chance for a Muslim to eat a bacon burger before you see this man stop coaching, and I mean that. Coach, keep doing what you're doing, and the GB Ducks is. I can't wait to have you back out there again. And I wrote a closing thing I want to say to everyone. Sometimes in life, it's not the dream, it's the strategy. Sometimes we must cut the grass to see the vision, and stop making plates for people who are taking them to always to go. Invest in you. Hey, you are my mentor. It's always love, and I can't wait to get you back out there with my babies, man. We got business, unfinished business. Like I said, you stand on business, and I respect that.
Yeah, definitely.
Peace and love, man.
Coach,
I'm gonna say to T and G and Coach Jackson, much respect, and I appreciate y'all for what you guys are doing to the game. And the reason why I deal, because I've seen all of your hearts, right? So T, we met through Jacobo when you were doing the stuff at K-Day.
Yeah.
In Fontana.
Yeah.
Right.
And you cared about the kids. Coach Jackson, I remember meeting you a long time ago, and your heart for the kids and what you do, it's nothing. It's all about, if you with the kids and I'm with you. When you're not with the kids and you're with selfish gain, I got to detach myself. Coach G, Gary, I've seen you go through your ups and downs and your stuff and stay true to these kids and the organization and not battle back and not say stuff when it could be easy to do that. And because of that character that goes a long way, and I'll always align myself with that, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what God wants us to do. So I appreciate you, man. More than you know.
Burns, we appreciate you. We're gonna get a hold of you and get you back on soon enough. Tell Big Zoe over there, hey, let's go, baby. Hey, we're gonna tap in with you too. We're gonna tap in with you too. Good luck with everybody, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Turf Talk, we out of here.
Peace.